How are these coaches able to convince the everyday person to choose them instead of their local trainers? There has to be an art to that. There has to be a certain skill set that these people have. At some point, you have to understand that they are not that impressed. The only difference between you and people that you look up to is scale. They have more time, more experience doing the thing, more knowledge about the thing because they've done it for so long. They use that knowledge to build their skill set, to get better, avoid making mistakes, avoid spending time going in circles. These are the people who achieve success. These are the people who are able to get really good at what they do. They're the people who are able to make things that look pretty difficult to the average normie look like nothing. It's really crazy, and I don't understand why people are so like they pedestalize people so much to the point where it's like, do you not realize that you can do that yourself? Like if you had the resources that they had, you could even be better than them. Like you're acting like these people are gods or something like that. Like they're not. They're just humans, just like you're a human. They had a skill, they had time and opportunities to take advantage of, and they made the most of them. But it's not like something that you can't do yourself. We look at all these people who are so high up on the totem pole of traders. So we have like ICT. Who else we have? Swaggy C, Carmine Rosado, if that's how you say his name. There's so many people, and I just like watch them and I'm like, wow, like these people seem like they have some knowledge that nobody else has. It's like somehow these people are like the select few who are able to get the knowledge that the rest of us just are wondering, like, how do we even begin to get that knowledge? Coming into the trading space, I was so impressed. I was like, wow, these guys make $1 million a year. I came in with like $50 and tried to put that into a trading account. And then I see myself making a few pennies here and there. Those pennies weren't going to make me anything. They had $50,000 in a trading account. We could take the same trade. We could have the same analysis. But because they had a bigger account, they would make more money. So they're not necessarily experts at what they do. They aren't necessarily the best traders in the world. All they had is resources, and they're able to use them to their advantage. At some point, you have to understand that they are not that impressive. Like, yes, there are people who are super impressive. They're super knowledgeable about the science behind trading, all these intricate formulas and statistics and all this advanced knowledge. Those people do exist. Hats off to them. But a lot of these influencers and people that you see online they're just like you and me. The only reason why they're able to get further is because of the scale they have. So I really want you to think about that when you see these people and you get so impressed with them. A lot of them will even tell you that they don't like they're no better than the average person. Well, better than the average person, but they're no better than a reasonably knowledgeable person. They just have more resources that allow them to scale up faster. That brings me to a second point, which is this world of high ticket sales. There's been this whole trend lately of people who make videos and they're like, oh yeah, I made like 10K per month, 100K per month, $1 million per month. They have all these different business models. They do appointment setting, high ticket sales for people who have large followings on social media. They might be doing agency work. They might be doing like any number of things. And fitness coaches too. I've seen that a lot with fitness coaches. I've been watching this guy lately and he's been saying that he makes like maybe 20K per month and he helps his clients make maybe 10K per month. And what do? They basically sell fitness coaching services. And so we think about that and we're like, why don't they just go to the gym and sign up for a gym membership at like their local gym in person? Why do they pay for this online influencer? Why don't these customers just pay a real life in-person trainer to give them workouts, train them, help them out with diet and all that stuff? Why is it that people are going to these online coaches? Well, there's a few reasons for that, but the more important piece of this is, how are these coaches able to convince the everyday person to choose them instead of their local trainers? There has to be an art to that. There has to be a certain skill set that these people have that allows them to find success in doing that. There's a lot of things that the average consumer does online that I just don't understand. Like, why do people buy things from TikTok Shop? I'll never understand that, but I have to look more into that. So anyway, these coaches, what they do is essentially they post content and then get people to engage with them. They get their potential customers into like their sales funnel and have a call with them and basically sell them their services. And so then it's about, okay, well, how many customers do you have in a given month? If you have 20 customers that are paying you $50 a month, then you're not going to make 10K a month. But if you have however many customers it takes you to make 20K per month or whatever the number is, you just make the math make sense by charging your customers more and more. That's how they're doing it. That's scale. So we look at these coaches and we're like, oh, they're no better than the average person. What makes them so good? What makes their knowledge about fitness and training and diet and nutrition so special? Did they go to Harvard or whatever the best school is for fitness training? Because they probably didn't. They just know how to sell. But it's not like they have some super secret sauce, super esoteric knowledge that's highly academic and all this stuff. It's really just age-old skills that have been around for a while that people are able to apply to new situations. We've never been in a time where we could have online fitness coaches until recently. It just wasn't possible. I even had a call with one where he was mentioning he would develop a unique personalized diet and nutrition plan and also give me workouts. He would like watch me do the workouts, or I'd maybe have to send him videos of myself doing workouts. And I was like thinking to myself, like, why would I do that instead of having an in-person coach watch me do stuff and like give me the actual nutrition right then and there on the spot and look at how I'm doing things and correct my form like live in person. But some people, that doesn't really matter to them. Like they're getting what they want. They're getting access to that particular individual, and that's what makes the world a difference for them. So whether or not it's something that I would do, it takes a certain skill set to understand that that's something that people want. And all you have to do is raise your prices basically, and you will hit your desired monthly recurring revenue. It's not like you need to work extra hard. Those people probably, I mean, they probably work hard, yeah, but those people are doing essentially the same work that any other trainer or coach does. It's just that they're charging more. So when you charge more, you're going to make more. You don't have to run yourself into the ground to get those higher revenue figures. You just have to find a way to upsell. I also wanted to talk about the running side, because what we've seen lately in the sport of running, whether that's track and field or road racing, people are getting a lot faster, especially in the events from 800 meters up to the marathon. If you're a fan of running, then you probably know what I mean. People at all levels, whether that's like high school, where we have people running like 146 in the 800, or we have people who are running sub 4 in the mile, from that all the way up to the marathon, where we have women running a full marathon in under 2 hours and 10 minutes. There's been this huge surge in people running fast times. Coaching plays a large part in that. But why is it happening now? Why wasn't it happening before? Well, just like in the business space, where we're in a certain era right now, we've had similar things happen with sports. So before, if you wanted to run super fast at a young age, you didn't have the coaches, you didn't have shoes with better technology to make you run faster. You just had to make the best of what you had at the time. Now, because you have all these new resources, track surfaces are being made for people to run faster, the training's getting better, the shoes are getting better. People who are super young are getting top tier pro level coaching. All these things make a difference when it comes to performing better, running faster. What we're seeing is people who wouldn't have been able to run that fast are now able to do that at a younger age. So they're no longer pedestalizing those pros who spent years and years in their career to get to a point where they can run super fast. There was a college kid who ran under 350 in the mile, and then someone else did it in college too. People just get faster and faster. They see someone do it, they're like, hey, I can do this too. It's not just for those super elite top level athletes. If someone around my level can do it, then so can I. That's the biggest encouragement that everyone needs to have, especially when they're trying to get to that next level. Leveling up, getting new skills, it's not reserved for only those at the top. Those who are at the top have just been doing it for longer. They just have more experience, more resources, and more skill. If you had that same skill, you might even be better than them. And that's what we're seeing with runners who are younger than these pros. They're running faster than these pros. These pros have been making a living, as honest of a living as you can make in running. They made a serious living, even with sponsorships and all that stuff. Those pro runners are viewed as superstars in the sport. And then you have some high schooler who just runs faster than them. So then it's like, what are we doing here? Why are we treating this person like they're such a great athlete when college kids, high school kids are running faster than them? That's kind of the shift that we're seeing right now. It's really interesting. People who are pretty much like the average people in their sport or in their area, their industry, they're able to compete, whether that's skill wise or even financially, with people who have been pros doing this for a long time. I talked about the trading space. It's happening. We have people who are on Wall Street, and then we have influencers online who are able to generate revenue not just from trading, but from selling courses. If you're on Wall Street and you've been there for like 30 years, you're not trying to be an influencer online. That just doesn't appeal to you in most cases. In sports, we're seeing this too. People who do commentary on sports are able to make as much money as the pro athletes just from that attention. That's part of that whole creator economy. It's crazy. Whether you cover NBA, NFL, you just go online, you talk about whatever you want to talk about. You share your opinion. Suddenly people care about that and you're able to make so much. But don't pedestalize these people. You can do it too. If they've done it, you can do it. Just find a way to build that skill. That's the most important part. They have more scale. They're on this higher level. They started at the bottom, you started at the bottom. So how are you going to take the steps to get to their level? People can give you advice and tips and whatever they want to say about how they think that you should do it, but ultimately that's all up to you.